Hey everybody, hey, Carlotta Berry here, y'all. I thought I'd go ahead and make a video real quickly here. I'm sitting in the car. I'm outside of the hospital, or actually I came to the breast center for a mammogram. And yeah, when I pulled up, I was looking at the label on the building, on the archway there, or the entranceway, and it said cancer center. And I'm thinking I'm going to the wrong place. But then I realized, no, I wasn't. I was actually coming to the right location. And so I get on the elevator and I go upstairs and I check in, and she asked me, am I here for my regular routine checkup? And I tell her yes. And, you know, I fill out all the paperwork. I take a seat and I sit down waiting for my name to be called, you know, and in the meantime, I reach to a magazine that was laying on the table next to me, and I'm reading an article about a young lady who opted for a double mastectomy. Now, this video is not about breast cancer or getting a mammogram, even though to all you ladies out there, make sure you're getting your regular checkups. But the video is about, you know, how we always think that thing, you know, that horrific thing, that bad thing, that diagnosis, it won't be me. It'll always be somebody else. And when I sat down and I was reading over that magazine article about the young lady who was getting ready to have a double mastectomy, you know, my heart went out to her. But actually it was a volunteer surgery she was opting for because she took this particular test. But anyway, not to get too deep into that, the message I want to share is that, you know, and I'm piggybacking off of a video I saw as I was driving down. I didn't get to listen to all of it, but he was pretty much talking about living a life of purpose. That was one of the messages that I received, is that, you know, we all have a expiration date. We all have a day where, you know, God is calling us home, or maybe even God allowed something to happen. He didn't intervene. And so we need to make it count what we do here on earth, and how it is so easy, y'all, to just kind of like go through life on autopilot and not being intentional, and not living with intentionality, not living a life of purpose, not living like any moment could be our last day. At the time of this video, this past weekend, there was a horrific flood in Texas. And as a result of that, over 100 fatalities, including over a couple of dozen of children. They were camping at a campground, Mystic Camp, in small town. I don't know if it's a small town, but a town in Texas. And, you know, it still just weighs heavy on me when I think about it. It makes my eyes water, because I can't even imagine my child or my niece or a loved one being swept away. And in some cases, some families will never see their loved one again because they haven't found all the bodies. I think there were 10 missing, the last that I heard. And these young little people and teenagers, they showed up to camp to have fun, you know, and to reconnect with their friends. And this was a Christian campground. But yet they were swept away, and many died and lost their lives. And you just never know the answers as to why things happen. But one thing that we really want to get, and that is our time is not forever here on earth. And we have to live it as such. We have to live our lives with purpose each and every day. And so as I was listening to him, my mentor that I never met in person, and before I had to turn off the video, you know, he was saying, don't let one day go by without living with purpose, and that is even speaking life into someone else's life, you know, where it be picking up a phone and giving someone a call, or speaking to someone that you pass by on the elevator, here on YouTube, the internet, social media. Say something to inspire, to encourage, you know, or do something to let another person know that they are seen and their life, you know, is important and they are valued. Make your life count. Make it count, because you just never know. You know, you never know. I showed up for my yearly mammogram checkup, and I tell you guys, the technologist that was doing the mammogram, she said she had to do one of the sides again, and I was like, what, is something wrong? You know, is something wrong? And she said, well, no, she didn't put enough pressure on one area, and so it looked a little funny, and so she had to do it again. And she went on to say that the doctor will examine it and look at the x-rays today, and if they find that there's something wrong, then they'll give me a call. But just in her saying that, y'all, you know, it raised a little alarm, like, is something wrong? But just 10 minutes, 5 minutes prior to that, I had just showed up and was told I was there for a regular routine mammogram, y'all. So things could change on a dime. And I'm trusting and believing that my mammogram is going to be okay and I'll get a good report, because I haven't, you know, they haven't looked at the x-ray yet. But that's just an example of how we just take things for granted. We take our life for granted, and we tend to think, no, that's somebody else. That won't happen to me. And there may be some people that will see this video that will say, no, that very thing did happen to me. I did get that diagnosis and I'm still here. You know, I was in an accident and I survived it and I'm still here. Well, you know then for certain how life can be very fragile, and we are to cherish it carefully, but then also we are to live not with fear, but to live with faith, and to understand that our lives, it is a gift, and it is intended to be lived, and not to be lived where we are so afraid that we're not walking into our purpose and doing the things that God has called us to do, and, you know, we're not moving forward, I guess I would say, you know, in faith. Because when you move in faith, and when you understand that you have an assignment, because we all do have an assignment, other than, number one, to love ourselves as we love our neighbors, or love our neighbors as we love ourselves, and to love God with all our heart and our soul. But we are to be doing work out here, you know. We are to be doing work out here. Each and every last one of us was blessed with a gift, at least one gift, you know, talents. And we are to tap into them each and every day. And so I just want to hop on to encourage you, as I just heard my mentor, Tony Gaskin, say, get on YouTube, internet, you know, speak to whoever will run across your video, or send someone a text, pick up the phone, give someone a call, face-to-face conversation, speak into someone's lives, let them speak into someone's life and let them know that it's urgent. It's urgent that you step into your passion, your purpose, and y'all, let's just try to, you know, live life for what it is, and it is a gift. And I'm talking to myself as well, because it's so easy to take life for granted. I showed up to get my yearly mammogram and looking at it as routine, but you know, my life could change on a dime, just like yours could. So anyway, that's all I got. Pray for those parents and loved ones and all that were affected by that horrific flooding and all the people who lost their lives over the July 4th holiday. Pray for them. Pray for their parents, and just know that it very well could have been you or a family member, and we are all on borrowed time. So that's my message. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. Always know that God is real. He loves you. He's rooting on each and every last one of us to win, and continue to live your life on purpose. If you have not, if you've been living your life taking it for granted each and every day, I'm here to encourage you to, pray to God, ask Him to reveal to you what your purpose is, and He'll show you, and then go ahead and execute. Alrighty, y'all. I want to apologize. I'm just a tad bit feeling a little under the weather. Not really sick, but just feeling kind of blah. But I was encouraged to get on and make a video, so here I am. Alrighty, y'all. Until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great, blessed rest of your day. Bye, y'all. See you later. Have peace. Bye.